a Fleet Mag Celebrity Corner with DJ Pink Diamond. Today's special guest, Club Nouveau.
All right, so first question.
Mhm.
When did you actually get into this music journey?
Well, I think music has been in me since I've been. I've always listened to music. It's always been in our house.
Hmm.
So I've always listened to music and loved music. As a kid, 1972, Where's the Love by Roberta Flack and Donny Hathaway is the first record I ever received because my great uncle, McCoy, owned a record shop in San Francisco. And I was 10 years old when I got my first record, Where's the Love? It was a 45.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
Wow.
and the first album that I received was in 1976. I received as a 14-year-old for Christmas. I received the Earth, Wind and Fire Spirit album.
Okay.
So so from that standpoint, I've always been music, and music has always been me. When I first got into the music business, where I was in the business, it was probably 1985, and I did a rap called Take a Break. 1984, Take
Okay.
a Break. And then 1985, we did the Battle Beat, which was the only rap record that I ever recorded that I released. And so that's where I started with music. And then in 1986, I recorded Rumors as a producer. That's where my musical career started.
That's one of my favorite songs. One of my favorite. I still play that song today.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
two, and it's 2024.
Well, I mean, I think, it's like we still listen to Marvin Gaye, What's Going On? And it's 54 years old, but we still, I think real music doesn't have a lifespan. Music that vibrates with the life force never stops vibrating, irrespective of who or what the life force is. When it's, when it resonates, it resonates. Doesn't matter what year.
Now let me ask you this, and I probably did ask you this on another call, but how did you come up with your name?
Well, we were the Timex Social Club. The group that I worked with was the Timex Social Club.
Okay.
And when they signed a deal with somebody else behind my back,
Okay.
I had I had all this music that I was preparing for them. And, they were Timex Social Club. So I wanted to put out a record that sounded like theirs. That's why we made Jealousy as a sound alike. And then we wrote the lyric about them. And then I wanted a name that was close to theirs. So Club Nouveau, first I wanted to be called the New Club because Timex Social Club and then the New Club. So they're both clubs. But the New Club was too generic.
Okay.
So Club Nouveau Riche, newfound wealth, is what it was. And we dropped the Riche and just Club Nouveau, the New Club. And it was just working with the name, trying to figure out the right name for the group.
What career path would you have chosen if you were not a recording artist?
That's an interesting question. I worked in politics a lot as a kid.
Hmm.
Um, I was a page in the legislature as a 19-year-old, and so I probably would have ran for office or something. Probably worked in some type of political field.
I know. I be thinking about that myself. That
Mm.
I want to run for Congress, and the first thing I want to do is take care of those student loans because I got lots of them.
Well, you would it would take more than you to do that. You'd have to have a real coalition to do that.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what I would definitely would. I guess I got into politics too, like when uh, Jimmy Carter became president.
Uh-huh.
And then I gradually started looking into it more. But then when Obama became president, I was definitely into it. Now I'm really into it. I know everybody in Congress, they names, where they states from. So it's interesting. So I can agree with you on that one. It's definitely interesting. Okay. Here is a question that I always tend to like to ask people. Um, do you think social media makes it easier for today's artists to gain a fan base?
Um, it makes it more accessible, but not easier
Mm-hmm.
because everybody is on social media.
Right.
So, you know, people tend to think that when they post something, that everybody sees it. So people will say, "You didn't see what I posted today?" No, because I don't look at social media like that. People got to be intentional about either going to your page or going down their timeline and looking what people put on their pages. So I think it makes it more accessible,
Mm-hmm.
and the possibilities, but not easier.
Okay. Yeah, I tend to agree with that for sure. Because everybody doesn't see it. But then eventually they will see
Maybe, maybe not.
it. Well, if they scrolling down that timeline, they'll
Yeah,
eventually.
again, who's to say that somebody's going to scroll? I
That's
believe they say no more than 500 people see your post at a time unless you boost it and spend money and stuff like that.
so. Then this brings me to this question. Well, how do you feel about the social media since it's really impacted the music business now more than now, I would say, than back in the days when we were growing up.
Social media didn't exist, but I think social media is one of the strongest tools you can use that you can have for people to find you, for people to learn about you,
Mhm.
for you to post where you're performing or a live performance that you've done, or if you want to talk to people and you want to be live, so social media is a great tool,
Mhm.
and I'm not mad at it at all. And I think what it's done is it's just expanded your reach based on based on your ability to navigate, you know, whatever platform it is, and your knowledge of the internet and how to make it work.
Mhm. Has it helped you guys since the social media has been out? Has it helped Club Nouveau out?
I think, yeah. I mean, if you go on YouTube and you go see, you know, some of our videos, have 3 and 4 or 5 million people, and when you're a group from the '80s, that's without a hit record, without a record out for 30 years. That's a good deal. And so people find out about you. People put your name in. They see you in concert, and they may have never, knew who you were before, but they went with their mom or dad or grandmother or grandfather or somebody, and now they're looking you up. I know that people do it because I do it. It's how I learned who Joyce Rice was. She opened up for Lucky Day and she did this song, and I liked the song so much. But I went and found her, and then I found the song, downloaded the album, so it becomes a valuable tool.
Okay, most definitely. I hear you for sure. All right. So moving on, what is the best advice that you've been given?
Um, don't let what you do make you who you are. If that's the definition of who you are, then you ain't. That's what my mama told me.
Okay, I like that one for sure. And have you been following that ever since she told you that?
Absolutely. It's why, I recognize that what I do in music is just what I do in music. It's not who I am. It's not the defining moment of J. King or the defining um, you know, point of who I am. There's many things that I do now and many things that I'll do later that may or may not have anything to do with music.
Right, right. Now, also, what kind of things do you enjoy when you're not writing, performing? What do you like to do?
I love going to movies. I love going to really nice restaurants to eat. I love to travel. I
Okay.
love to shop. You know,
Are you a Scorpio?
Aquarius.
Oh, because I like to do all of those things just like you just named. Now, if you had um, a fun fact to tell us, what would that be about J. King?
I'm one of the greatest domino players to play the game.
Uh-oh. I don't know. My son claimed he won. He the best too.
How old is your son?
37.
Yeah, he don't even understand the game yet. I play for money.
He does too.
Yeah.
Everything he does, like he also plays chess.
Yeah, I only play domino,
I
but
don't know where he learned that
I,
from.
I, I'm a high stakes domino player. So I play $1,000 games, $2,000 games. I play the most money I ever won uh, in a night was $25,000. But we started at 6 o'clock one afternoon and we ended at 12 o'clock the next day. And I'm probably up to $38,000 and just let him come back and win a little bit because I was tired.
Wow.
Yeah, but with $1,000 games. But if you get skunked, it's $2,000. If you know, so so we started off with 1,000. We had a couple of $2,000 games.
You done played all night. You probably didn't eat. You didn't get
Well,
no
yeah,
nap.
no, because when you got a cat, no, it ain't no 15 to get on the board. That no, we play dominoes. If you score five, it's five. It ain't none of that. It ain't no ghetto dominoes. It's straight up and down dominoes. You know, um, all money is good.
Okay then. When your next game? You gonna be
Uh,
playing soon?
I mean, I don't play that much. I play when guys want to play.
Hmm.
I used to have a professional domino association.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
so I don't play that much. But I mean, I always have dominoes with me, like they're in my car,
Okay.
and in my house. I got them at my house in L.A. I have them at my house here. They're on the table in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's a good fun fact to know. If you can change anything about the industry, what would it be?
Probably, you know, uh, radio. I think radio should be driven by how good a song is, not who you know and how much money you have. Radio gets really expensive.
Hmm.
So, if you're releasing an R&B record, if you don't start off with at least 40, $50,000 out the box, you might as well not come out. And if you've been out there for 5 or 6 weeks, if you don't have another 25, $30,000, you're getting spent to 50. And after the next 5 or 6 weeks, if you don't have another 25, $30,000, you're getting spent to 80 because you ain't gonna get, because you're not gonna get to where you need to get to. It costs, you gotta spend at least $120,000 per single in order to make an impact.
If you could go back in time, right? Is there
Mhm.
anything you would change during your musical journey to get where you are today?
Well, of course, you always say if I could go back in time, I would do this. But if I went back in time, I wouldn't be where I am right now. So, you
Mm.
know, that's the beauty of the business. The only way anything would change for me is if I didn't survive through it, and whether it was lost my voice or, um, you know, lost my mind or something like that. But um, as I sit here today, I've learned a lot of great lessons. I understand humility and why this business is the way it is. So I'm cool with it.
Okay. Now, when are you guys putting out more music? Anytime this year?
Well, yeah, we got, but this single is what we're working. We're working the single. The single just came out. It's on the charts. It's number 30 on the
Okay.
media based charts. It's new. We gotta work the single. Uh,
Okay.
Let the single do what it's gonna do. Then we'll have another single after that. We're
Okay.
gonna release we'll release a single every 4 to 6 months based on how long they stay on the chart.
Okay. I definitely appreciate you coming through this evening. I know you got other plans going on for today, and love to see you back. And once you get some more music for us, let us know. We can set up a listening session for you with the National Fleet, or even with some of the other states, that would be interested in talking to you and
Now let me ask
listening.
you guys a question.
Mhm.
Do you guys only do R&B or do you do jazz stuff as well?
We do for the Fleet Mag. We interview anyone that has whatever genre.
Okay.
Hmm.
Because I have another guy, Sean Rayford, who's jazz saxophone.
Okay.
Um, and then a brother named Lucky Witherspoon, who's bad. And if you want to check him out, if you go to YouTube, just type in Lucky Witherspoon.
Lucky Witherspoon. I'm gonna check him
Yeah.
out.
And
Sure.
he is incredible. He is.
Where can people find you to follow you?
You can follow me on Facebook at JAYKING, the number 3, J King 3.
Mhm.
Facebook, I'm at the official J King on Instagram.
Okay.
And
Do you have any closing remarks for the Fleet Magazine?
just I thank you guys. It's anytime uh, groups like ours, you know, get a blip on the screen, is we're appreciative because this is a young man's game. This is a young artists. That's who drive music. So whenever we get a record, and I just want to, this is a very rare occasion for groups like mine. Only a handful of us actually have hit records past the decades that we started. Marvin Gaye did in 1983, 84 when he did 84 when he did Sexual Healing, but he hadn't had a hit record for 8 years. That was considered a lifetime in the music business.
Hmm.
Then Barry White did it when he did Practice What You Preach. He hadn't had a record since 78. Then in 92, 93, he had Practice What You Preach. That was 15 years.
Mm.
The same with Tina Turner. But each of them had started new careers with the hit records and made a lot more money because the money was different from the era they started in versus where they ended up. And they
Right.
were all in their 40s when that happened. I'm 62. It's 35 years from the last time I had my hit record to today,
Mm.
1989. So I believe if this record does what everybody says it's going to do, because most people believe it's going to be a top 10 record, then I would be the oldest artist in the history of the music business to have a hit record after my heyday, if you will. 35 years. So I would be the
Anything,
oldest.
anything is possible.
That's
Anything,
right. That's what I believe.
anything is possible. You never
Yeah.
know. All right. Well, it's been fun talking to you. I got to know you a little bit better this time, since it's definitely a one-on-one. And like I said, as soon as we get the article put together, we will send a copy of it to Miss Angela and let her know
Okay.
I said thank you for corresponding with me. Me and
It's
her have been emailing and phone, and we've been getting it together. So I appreciate her.
all right. I'll let her know.
All right. So you have a great evening.
Appreciate you, man.
Good night.
For interviews, music news, and entertainment, go to thefleetmag.com.